She was still in a coma, which sounds brutal, but there was just something in me that said, if this young woman has survived...
Steve Jackson edits the ongoing Alan Jones legal... Steve Jackson edits the Australian's Media Diary. And Jacko, today you're reporting on a twist in the ongoing Alan Jones legal saga. What's happening?
That's right, Claire. There's already been so many twists and turns, and we haven't even got to the trial yet. What I've discovered is that there are now complaints that witnesses who are expected to be called in Alan Jones's defence have been contacted by someone purporting to be a tabloid journalist and asked questions about the evidence that they're going to give. Now, of course, as you know, it's not illegal for journalists to do this, but there's a real grey area when that becomes a feeling of intimidation or, a scare tactic. Whether or not that's the intent of the journalist, it's the way that at least one witness has taken it, and I can reveal that one witness at least has gone to the detectives who've led this investigation and charged Mr. Jones and said that they feel as though there's this pressure being put on them by the media and that they're being told that they're being watched.
The person who made these phone calls allegedly described themselves as working for Nine's tabloid newspaper, the Sydney Morning Herald, which has published several stories containing allegations against Jones, all of which he has denied. Nine denied any of its journalists had intimidated any witness. What, if anything, are you reporting about who this journalist might be?
Look, to be fair, we don't even know it's a journalist. As I say, it's not illegal if a journalist has done it, but it could just be someone who is purporting to be a journalist. And for at least one witness, this has been too much, a lot of stress, and they've gone to the authorities and said, this is really uncool. How do they know I'm being called, and why are they contacting me? Are they just calling and asking for details, as a journalist could and should do, or is it something murkier? And in at least one instance, one of the witnesses says they feel as though it's murkier.
Often when criminal matters come to court, the witnesses are civilians. They've never encountered the court process before. They've also never encountered the media before. And we know that the wheels of justice turn very slowly, particularly at this low-level court, the local court where Alan Jones' trial will be held. There's a huge number of matters going through those courts all the time. It takes a lot of dedication from police to keep witnesses in the case, don't they? Because if they feel the stress, often witnesses just want to drop out.
Well, exactly, because even if you're not being accused of anything, the whole court process is extremely stressful. It's marginally more stressful than turning up on your podcast and being interrogated. What are they going to ask me? Are they going to accuse me of any wrongdoing? And it's hard for witnesses to remember sometimes they're not being accused of anything. They're just there to tell the honest truth about what they remember. But it's a very stressful process. We know that last year I've already reported they were told, basically, you could be called at any point for 4 months from August. So block that out because, we also know that when they tell witnesses, hey, you're going to be called next Tuesday, delays happen quite regularly. Evidence runs long and they end up sitting around for days. So there's a 4-month window where they've all been told reserve this time. We know that the prosecution's calling 139 or up to 139 witnesses. We know from Brian Wrench, who is Alan Jones's lawyer, said that there are 8 witnesses that they say will help defend Alan Jones by saying that they didn't see anything. Whether or not seeing anything actually proves anything, that's a different question. But again, it is a very stressful experience, and you can see why they're jumping at shadows.
Another arm of Nine Radio is the subject of a really gripping story in the New South Wales court system too. This was a leak to Ben Fordham about a judge, Penelope Wass. She's a former senior counsel, a very respected jurist and lawyer in her own right. Ben Fordham got a leak that she had allowed an accused person to give a welcome or acknowledgement of country in her court. Ben Fordham reported on it, and then subsequently it emerged that she was accusing the office of the DPP, Sally Dowling, of having orchestrated that leak. Sally Dowling, the DPP, has admitted that this leak did come from her office, a junior member of staff who, she said, in a meeting, suggested this as an idea, and Sally Dowling was busy reading emails and sending text messages and didn't really focus on whether it was the right thing to do or not. It's obviously blown up in her face and is very embarrassing. Do you need to?
Sorry, Claire. Sorry, I'm just busy sending a message. Sorry, yes, definitely do that. Whatever you said, go ahead.
Sally Dowling has said in a submission to a parliamentary inquiry that she was unaware her staffer was planning to leak the information and never would have approved it if she had known. She said she deeply regrets not paying more attention in the meeting. One of your favourites in the media diary is witch hunts within organisations to find the leaker.